The next feature that we're going to review is the creation of sales orders, of a job cost, a service order, a web order, a quote, reoccurring orders, or contract pricing. So we're going to do a sales order. First thing it's going to prompt us is who is the customer. So we can pick this particular customer here. It's going to ask what is the destination and the tax group. Now we come up with a screen that's very similar to our invoice screen that we saw earlier. So with this order, I can hit the enter key. I can do searches by subcategories. I can look for R-E-A-C-H, the word reach, and I can look for, here's refrigerators. We'll select that one. And here are the different refrigerating units and parts. So we'll select that guy there. And then, of course, as we mentioned before, we can just hit the enter key. And if we highlight this field called description, and we type under locate the word bar, B-A-R, and hit Control Enter, anything that has the word bar somewhere in the description. Now I've got about 50,000 inventory items in here, so you can see it goes pretty darn fast. So I'm going to select this unit here, and then we're going to go ahead and try one more, and this time I'm going to do a search by specific vendors. So if I look for Waring, here's a juice blender. Now I can pick several items at the same time, and they'll all show up. I can also use a barcode scanner, but most of the times sales orders are done in the back room and there's really no barcode scanner like there is with the counter. Okay. So I've created my sales order here, and under the transaction note, you can put information about a specific sales order, and you can also put in what's called line notes. So if you go down to here and hit Control I, let's see, Control N, now we have a transaction note. Now you can set up predetermined or predefined transaction notes, and then all you got to do is, when you select one, what we call this boilerplate, certain warranty information or certain instructions to the customer, you can build those all in here, and when you highlight it, you can click this arrow and that will send it over to you. So that will show up on your document. So now that I've got these particular things completed, I'm now going to go ahead and say save. And did the customer give us a purchase order number? Yes, they did. And what date are we expecting to have this thing shipped out? And we think we're going to be able to ship it on the 15th for them. Do I want to apply a prepayment? Yes, I do. I want $2,500 from him. Go ahead and place this order because I haven't done much business with him. And he's going to give me a check. And that check number is that number. And if I wanted to swipe his driver's license, or he can tell me what it is. And what do I want to print? The order only or a pick list only? I can say both here and click preview. And this will be my pick ticket. This is going back into the warehouse. And these are the items the customer wants. And notice it's got the transaction note, warehouse, how many they pulled, what are they short. And this is my document, my sales order with all the information on it. Shows a deposit, shows the balance that's due after the deposit. So when I'm completed with that, if I wanted to make a purchase order off this, I would go to my pending sales orders. I'd find the one that we just did, and I would say create a purchase order for me. And I'm not going to drop ship them. I want all the items to be on the PO. Even though I have it in stock, I don't want to touch my stock. I want to create a PO and order just for this particular sales order. So convert to PO. Here are all the items that are on my purchase order. And I'm going to click Tag All. And then I'm going to say Create POs. So what this did is it created 3 separate purchase orders for me. So if I decide to go into my purchasing system, here are the 3 POs that were just created for me and what's on those POs. At this point, I'm going to release these to the manufacturer by clicking Place Edit. I can email the PO directly to the manufacturer or print it and fax it. And I'll do this for each one of them. So all my POs have been placed. Now under the received POs, I have the ability on these POs to say show all. Here's all the POs. And looking at the information here, I can go ahead and say that I am receiving the POs now. They're coming in. And so I'm going to say receive edit. That's the invoice number. Receive all. And this is going to put it into inventory and say it fulfilled a back order. And I'm going to do that for each of these. And the last one. Okay, so all of these have been received into my inventory. And while they did receive it into inventory, it also created my accounts payable invoice. So going over to accounting, go over to accounts payable processing. And here are the 3 invoices that came in on that PO. And it's got the totals, was there a discount, when do we have to pay it by, the whole bit. So we can click here and that will flag all these, and we're going to post these to our accounts payable. So we're taking the stuff out of purchases clearing and moving it into accounts payable. So we're going to say post approved, and that has been posted. So now this is what's in our open payables right now. If we ran an open payable report, we would see these invoices. Okay, so if I look at my transactions and my reports, I think I have an accounts payable report here, a vendor payment, and that's the incentives. AP aging report. This is a canned report, not one of our customs. So this just shows who the vendors are, what's current, 30, 60, over 90. We've got some beautiful custom reports that are available for people who wish to purchase them. So what we're going to do is we're going to pay these. So we're going to say pay all. So now these are ready for payment. Process paid. This is what's going to cut checks for. I'm not going to bother printing remittance advices out. So now this information's all up in my accounting checkbook. under print, let's go to the proper things here, operations. We go to the bottom here. These are the three that we just got done doing: Eagle Group, Norlake, and Waring. So if I go to print checks, here are all the checks that need to be printed. And as you can see, there's the Eagle Group, Norlake, and Waring. So that's how we take a sales order, create a purchase order for it, and process it all the way through to our accounting system. So if we go back to our transactions pending and we go to our sales order and we see this one here, you'll notice there's nothing back ordered. So what we're going to do now is we're going to convert this to an invoice, which is the top one here. And we can pick whatever sales ID we want to use for that. Here are all the inventory items that were on that sales order is now on a invoice. We can hit tender, say you're going to pay cash. Now you'll notice since they put money down, it's going to reflect accordingly. And this is the, on a packing slip, we'll just say no. We'll take a look at the invoice. So here's our invoice, and it shows that they used a $2,500 deposit. So it was $61.62 and sales tax, and that was the total invoice amount. And they gave us a check for that $2,500, and they gave us a check number for the balance of the invoice. And this was that transaction note we said we wanted. So that's how we took it from the sales order all the way through the purchase order to accounts payable, cut our checks, and we also then created an invoice from the sales order. Thank you.